How are the hands?
Hands are they're healing.
Yeah.
They're healing. I ended up breaking both my hands. I fractured my right hand. My left hand. I think my right hand got the worst part of it, but they're healing up. I don't have to have surgery or anything, which is a bonus.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Well, congratulations on an impressive win, man. As Joe Rogan said,
Thank you.
vintage.
It was a classic performance. It was
Vintage.
unbelievable to watch.
Well, I appreciate it. I wanted to kind of make a statement anyway because, I knew that Vicente Luque was going to be very tough. And, from his past, I don't think the guy's ever been knocked out. He's been knocked down, but I knew it was going to be very difficult to put this guy away. But that said, after my 2 fights ago, I got knocked out by Anthony Pettis. So everybody was like, yo, are you getting too old, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah, I'm 36 years old. I'll be 37 in February. But I consider myself a young 36-year-old. And in the fight game, I guess people are saying that's kind of old. I mean, you got, more of these guys are fighting, later and later. I mean, Damian Maia is 41. He just finished Ben Askren with one hand, pretty much,
Yeah.
So there's a lot of fight left in me, and I feel like I'm getting better and faster every day. So I wanted to go out there and really put on a show for the fans and let the UFC guys know and that I'm still here in this welterweight division, and I'm not giving up on that title for sure.
And speaking of Ben, obviously he retired yesterday. What are your thoughts on his impressive career, and how do you think he proved himself in the UFC?
Be one of the best fighters, and especially one of the best wrestlers, in MMA. He's definitely one of them for sure. I mean, he's got a record like no other. I mean, he was undefeated before he even came into the UFC. And, nobody really knows what kind of damage you take. When you're in the thick of it, you don't really mention your injuries and things like that. And I hear that, he came out and said he's had, a bad hip for a while now. And that plays an effect, how you train and, the intensity of your training. So I don't know how that affected him, after he got into the UFC, but, he had a controversial win over Robbie Lawler. And then he gets knocked out flying knee by, George Masvidal, and then choked out by Damian Maia. So, to be honest with you, I don't know how bad his injury is, but I thought maybe he still had some fight left in him. We'll see how long he stays retired.
Yeah.
You got a lot of these guys that are coming back, man. They're coming back. So we'll see how long that lasts. I mean, the guy's still, I think he's still got a lot left in him. But, that said, I really don't know his injuries are that bad or not. So, but man, the guy was definitely impressive. I figured that, if I stay in the game long enough, we'll be facing each other for sure. But, I hope he gets better. I hope he, if he needs hip surgery, that goes well. So, my dad is 64 years old and he's got some bad hips. So that goes to show the mileage that the fight game puts on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I was very lucky to witness yourself and Jorge in Madison Square Garden 2 years ago.
Oh, you were
I was there, yeah. I was shouting for you, kid. I got your back.
Yes.
Yes. But like he said it a few times now, he'd like to run it back and he'd like to claim that loss off you. What are the thoughts? Is anything kind of in your head? Are you thinking, yeah, let's do it? Or the BMF versus the NMF, as they say?
You know what? I wouldn't mind it at all. To be able to face him again would be definitely awesome. I mean, he's ranked higher than me now, and I'm still trying to work my way up, so that would work out for sure. But, George Masvidal has given me some, and I've mentioned this in the past, some inspiration, if you will. Because, it was 2 years ago that I beat him at Madison Square Garden. I was ranked higher than him. I was ranked still number 1 at the time. And then, it goes to show how fast you fall from the top. I'm ranked number 6. I think I was number 9. And then I'm not really sure where I am now, but I'm working my way back up. But, me beating him, and then after 2 wins, could possibly be fighting for the title next, or fighting Leon Edwards, to fight for the title next. I mean, he's right there. So even after a loss, after my Anthony Pettis loss, few good wins, I'll be back up at the title again. So he's kind of inspired me, to be honest with you.
And
it
how
would be awesome, and I think it would be great.
How do you visualize your route back to the gold now again?
I don't see it being easy, to be honest with you. I don't think that my first trip to the title was easy at all. I mean, I was fighting some monsters, working my way up. Ellenberger, Johnny Hendricks, Robert Whitaker, Rory McDonald. Those
Some
guys are
animals, yeah,
monsters,
some
but-
animals.
Yeah. So I see it being the same, and there's some high-level wrestlers in this division, great strikers. I mean, the more I'm in this game, the more, the better people get everywhere. I remember coming up, you had, the wrestler versus the karate guy. So you had me, Jake Ellenberger, and Johnny Hendricks. And then you had, Rory McDonald, which was the first guy I was really super nervous of facing because he's really good everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got phenomenal striking, good jiu-jitsu, good wrestling. He out-wrestled Tyron Woodley, he beat him. So it was very nerve-wracking. I remember, trying to prepare for him because every time you see him, he changes. He gets better and better. And a lot of these guys are that way nowadays. I mean, they're at that level. So I don't see it being easy at all. But that said, I'm still getting better every day. I came into the MMA game fairly late. I was 28 years old, I believe. Most of my career I was doing kickboxing. I put my jiu-jitsu and my wrestling on the back burner because I was more focused on that. So I was kind of playing catch-up in the UFC. I got to the UFC fairly quickly. So I was still kind of playing catch-up, and I was going to actually turn my very first fight in the UFC down because I felt like I wasn't ready. My dad's like, man, when you were 12 years old, I took you to UFC 2, and you told me you were going to do this one day. He took me to UFC 2. I was very young. It was in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I told my dad then I was going to do this one day. So he's like, go out there and just have some fun, man. And I did. And I'm blessed to be where I'm at, to be honest with you. Still learning every day. I don't consider myself the best MMA fighter, but I'm definitely getting better for sure.
You're definitely up there anyway. We'll give you that. You're definitely up there.
Man, I
appreciate it, man.
I wish my dad took me to UFC too. How different would my career have been?
I remember hiding VHSs from my parents because that's too brutal. I was like, no, I love it, please.
Yeah. I know, man. I remember that. I mean, you can get it on pay-per-view and people would be in their houses watching this. I remember at the time, UFC was getting kicked out of a lot of states because they were doing it,
Yeah.
And I remember on some cases, a few of them went to jail.
Oh, really?
Because they didn't have the right licensings and stuff.
Wow.
So it was literally like blood sport back in the day. I mean, no gloves, no rules. I mean, you couldn't bite, but you could hit to the groin. It was brutal.
It was.
But yeah, I was 12, man. I was a young cat. My dad was like, yeah, we're going to see this. Yeah.
So are you just hands down, relaxing, coaching for now, just tipping away until Christmas kind of thing? Are you working the legs?
Yes.
What are you doing? Just chilling?
I'm always training, man. Even though I'm injured, there's always something that I can do. I'm still working with my strength and conditioning coach every day. Not doing stuff that I can't use any weights, can't grab anything right now. So it's all, band resisting. So I'm doing curls, working a lot of leg work, a lot of ladder work, fast drills to keep my feet quick as well, and a lot of kicking. So, the next few fights, I might be throwing some crazy kicks, because that's all I'm able to work right now. They told me, I went to see the hand specialist, and the way my hands broke, I won't need knee surgery, which is good, but it looks like I'm missing some knuckles right now,
Well, it was almost immediately after the fight, your hand just blew up.
Oh,
it was insane.
Bad. Yeah. It was throbbing from here back, from in New York City all the way back home. And I couldn't do a whole lot, with my hands, and still can't. I can't make a complete fist. Like my finger stops right here. Like I can't get it all the way down. Still pretty painful, but I'll be back, man, better than ever. And I really didn't want to take this time off, to be honest with you. I took all summer off to heal up, and I wanted to come back after this last fight ready to fight again and work my way up, but things don't happen the way you want it to all the time. So staying positive, man, working with my team, and teaching classes every day. Like you said, I'm on a bus right now getting ready to pick up some young
fair play.
School. So still a part of it every day, and still out there moving and kicking and punching. A lot of shadow boxing just to break a sweat and keep the body moving for sure.
Nice.
Cool. So first time to Ireland. Anything you hope to do? Anything you'd like to see?
Everything. Everything if possible. Man, I don't even know the first thing to see. I've never been to Ireland. The closest I've been was when I fought in Liverpool against Darren Till, which was literally like a short, plane ride away, but I wasn't able to make it. So would love to go out there and, have fun at the expo, meet my fans there in Ireland, which I hear I have a lot of fans there.
You do.
So I'm really excited just to meet and hang out with them. And this is what I love to do. You know, I'm a people person. I'm a talker. I enjoy it, you know, and this sport has been able, you know, has enabled me to be able to travel and meet new people, and this is going to be epic. So hopefully I'll be able to see you guys there, and y'all give me some advice.
100%.
Where to go?
100%.
Well, I've read your AMA on Reddit, and you're privy to a couple of beers, so you're in the home of having a few beers. So I'm sure we'll
we'll look after you, kid. We'll look after you. Don't worry.
And for me, you know, if I can't cut it with a knife or chew on it, I don't like it. None of the light stuff. I love darker, the better. The stouts are my jam. So I hear you guys have some of the best brewskis known to mankind.
It's true.
So I'm looking to have a few with you guys as well.
Perfect. Sounds amazing.
Sounds good.
Come here. Thank you so much for taking the time. We'll let you go back to pick up the kids. Appreciate it.
And I hope you know, leading up as we get closer, we can get back on, have a chat with you
100%.
guys.
Would appreciate it.
Like I said, I enjoy it, my friend. I appreciate being on with you guys.
Steve, thanks a million.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. You guys have a good one.
We'll see you soon.
All the best.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.